Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day today. My name is Craigor, and have been debating on doing a video about this for a little bit. It is about the information that we have and some assumptions I originally had about the new Alien TV series called Alien Earth. So it is a very exciting time if you are a fan of the Alien series. We're getting Alien movies. We're also getting Predator movies if you're a Predator fan. So there's a lot coming out right now that is very, very fun if you are a fan of the Alien or Predator series. The show will be directed by Noah Hawley. He is the guy who created Fargo. And I'd say based on the resume that he has, he can do a fantastic job with the world building of this series, this sci-fi horror series. And it's going to be a TV show, so he's already got experience with that, so it'll be interesting to see what he does with this series. The information that we have on this series so far is that it takes place about 2 years before the original Alien movie. So that would put the year as 2120. We saw that in the trailer. Little caveat with that, we see that at the opening, but we don't know where in the timeline it is, because in the trailer we see the little girl go into the adult body. And when we see that, you have to imagine there's some sort of adjustment period. It's not literally a plug and play. You don't just pluck someone's consciousness out and go, okay, now you're over here, and it just be fine. There's an adjustment period, there's all that. So I'd imagine that would be at least, realistically, a couple years. They may do it as a few months or something like that. I'm not sure what they do. Before we got a lot of information about it, we just got the teaser about Alien Earth. I had been hoping that this was a different project. So if you are a fan of the Alien series and you go beyond what is just available in the movies, there was a comic book series that was also made into a book trilogy. The comics were Aliens Earth Hive, Aliens Nightmare Asylum, and then Aliens Female War. If you are a fan of the original Aliens movie and you wanted to kind of see what some people thought would happen with Hicks and Newt, I definitely recommend either getting hold of the books. There's an Aliens omnibus, I believe, that has it in it. You can get the comics. It is a really good read. Real other caveat, if you get a chance to listen, I think it's William Gibson's Aliens 3 Unmade Script. They have it like on Audible and stuff. I recommend listening to it on Audible, even if you enjoy reading, because Lance Hendrickson and Michael Biehn come back to reprise their roles as Hicks and Bishop. So that's really cool. But going back to the books. So I was really excited about it, but I realized that there would be some issues with it because, well, first off, it's been retconned already once. The original story was Hicks and Newt. Alien 3 happened, and then they had to retcon it, and they changed names to Wilkes and Billy. It's the same story, and the background that they even talk about in the story is exactly the same. But I was hoping it would be a play off that. It doesn't look like it based on pretty much everything. But it was something I was hoping would happen. And then we found out about the timeline whenever it's supposed to happen. And that made me even more interested because we don't know a lot about this timeline. The closest thing that we have to it is Alien Covenant and Prometheus. But we don't really see what happens on Earth during that time. I mean, only Prometheus has, what, once? Yeah, when they're at the Isle of Man, Isle of Skye, whenever they're on the island. That's the only scene that's on Earth. Everything else is on the ship or on the other planet. But there is one thing that's kind of interesting that may tie into a little bit of the lore that was introduced in the book series I mentioned. Excuse me. If you saw the trailer, you saw that there was an instance where you see a drawing, and in the drawing that I will try to hang on. So one thing that you see in it is a drawing, and if I do this right, you'll see it pop up as my background. You see this drawing. This drawing really reminds me of Alien Earth Hive, the book series I was talking about, because I can't remember if it's the Queen Alien, the Queen Mother. Either way, there are people that are able to receive signals, bleed through from I really can't remember. It's either a queen that is nearby, or it's the Queen Mother transmitting from Alien Prime or Xenoprime. It's in the Alien Genocide book series or book. But yeah, so they're able to receive the information from the Queen or Queen Mother, whichever one it is. And they talk about creatures in the shadows, and they kind of describe it the same way that you see in the picture here. And so that's kind of interesting to me. I don't know whether this is supposed to be drawing from the girl that becomes a adult synthetic hybrid, or if it's something else. It could also be why she's considered special. So I don't know, but it is what it could be. Going back to my original background, I like the Nostromo. Sulaco is cool too. Interesting fact about that is they only made one half of it. They only made one side with all the definition stuff. And so when they did Alien 3, they had to get it back, and then they filmed it, and then they flipped it to make it look like it was going the other way. Sorry, random fact. So I'm really excited to see what they do with this time frame, because there can be a lot of things that happen in it. And one thing that I am hoping beyond anything else that this explains is why the Nostromo went to LV-426. And in Aliens, it's also referred, well, I think it's in the special edition, it's planet Acheron. Or that's what the moon is called by the people there. So, why did they go to LV-426? And I think that this will provide the information as to why certain things happened in the original Alien movie. So, let's talk about what we know about the Alien movie. It was referred to as the company in the movie. We find out later that's Weyland-Yutani. We know that they replaced the original science officer 2 days before they left for Thetis with Ash. And I believe that in one scene it's described that he had been, Dallas went out 5 times with the original science officer before they swapped him out with Ash. Now, using information from Alien Romulus, we know that the model that Ash is a science model. It's a scientific research model. And from some of the stuff hinted from, I've only read part of the Alien Romulus comic, but the sense that I got there was that he was the head researcher. He was in charge of the team. I could be totally wrong in that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it says. I'll do some research on that in a minute. But he was the head researcher. So Rook was the head researcher there, and Ash, who's the same model, who would have the same capabilities, was just slid in here. And it's probable that even the people at Romulus didn't know that he was a synthetic until way later. But I'm so hoping that this explains why they swapped Ashen and why the Nostromo went to LV-426, why it was positioned to capture that signal, because something had to happen for them to be able to get this signal, because we know that ships were going between Thetis and Earth over and over. And we know that they had done the run before or we know that Ash has. Or not Ash, Dallas, sorry. I'm hoping that really explains that. Now, one thing that a lot of people aren't aware of is that when they deemed the crew expendable, it actually wasn't that big of a possible loss for them. Everyone in that crew had been deemed a problem. Even Ripley was deemed a problem. She had sued the company at one point. If I remember correctly, it was about her taking time off for maternity leave. And something happened, and the company didn't follow through with part of it, and so she sued the company. So this was a group of people that have all caused issues at some point. If you want more information about that, tell me. I'll get all the information collated. You'll get the reference if you're an Alien fan. And I'll go through it all. If you want to see the information for yourself, there is a way to do it. If I remember correctly, you get to see most of the information just by watching the Aliens extended cut, but you need a really good version of it, like a 4K or something like that. And then you read the screen behind her when they're doing the ICC, when she's getting interviewed and they remove her flight status. Just before she chews out John Owen. But yeah, so there's a lot of interesting stuff coming up with this. I am really excited about it. I've loved the teaser trailer from whenever they had Alien Romulus in theaters. That was just awesome. It was just enough to get everyone interested in it. Like, I was just, wow. And I saw the actual trailer, and it looks so interesting. I'm interested to see how the iconography or the symbolism is going to take shape, because there's a lot of things they show in there. There's some creatures they show in there. I might make another video about that. Like, one of the creatures, like, gets in people's eyes. It's freaking crazy. I can see some hijinks going on with that. But I am very excited about this. I can't wait to see it. And I hope everyone has a great day. And as always, be well.